This dealership in 1980 was completely different than what it is today. We've added on to it actually 3 times in the last 20 years. It used to be a bit of a hole back in 1980, but we've really made a difference with the dealership. It's quite open, it's very modern.
Kaizen Automotive Group consists of 7 different dealerships, of which 2 are top volume for Canada, for their respective brands.
Kaizen Automotive Group goes back to the term Kaizen, which is all about continuous improvement. And that's really the baseline for everything that we do.
Rick feels very fortunate that he's working with his family close. He gets to see him every day.
We're going to have 4 generations in the car business. We get along, we communicate very well, and that's one of our strengths.
He was just a little farm boy from Raymond.
When he was little, he would have to be out on the farm at 4 a.m. Some days he would have to skip school because they were harvesting around the clock.
Had to walk to school both ways uphill, 9 feet of snow and this and all the rest of it.
There's not a lot to do in a small town. I think 2,500 was the tally at the time.
In the town of Raymond, I met my wife in the back of a pickup truck.
We were driving down Main Street, throwing water balloons at people.
I think she got me with a water balloon or something. It was love. We've got 4 children. Kristen is our oldest, Parlet, our second, and then Jeffrey and Kyle. I want to call them kids, but they're not kids because they know as much about the business now as I do.
He has worked in the industry for 35 years. Started at the bottom and worked his way up, and that's how he learned it all.
I decided I wanted to fly my own ship. We started to grow, and we had the opportunity of buying Shaw GMC from my partners, Larry Shaw and Ray Pine. We bought that dealership, and then we bought Sunridge shortly after that, and it just kept on happening that we were in the right place at the right time. One of my mentors was Ray Pine, and Ray Pine said to me, he said, "Rick, you never want to put yourself in a position where you can't make payroll." I look at it this way. We have 750 employees, and I'm responsible for feeding each of those employees' families.
My partners and I, we always talk about Rick's Midas Touch. I've helped him acquire car dealerships that were in financial distress and turn them around and in a matter of just a couple of 3 months, make them profitable and then very successful.
One day I'm thinking I'm getting a kitchen renovation. Next thing I know, I got a new dealership.
My children started very young working with me because I didn't want them to go to 7-Eleven and waste their day there. So I had them come into the dealership starting, I think it was about 10 years old.
I think I started working at the dealership when I was probably about 10.
I think I was like 14.
I was 9, Jeff was 11 or 10.
One of my first jobs was body shop receptionist. That's when I really started to realize the emotional connection people had to their vehicles. Learning that lesson at 14 and being in the business today, you treat people differently because of that understanding.
I have done everything from reception to filing and accounting. I was a lot attendant one summer. I painted all the fences and posts and trim for CMP.
Yeah, I went up to CMP with my brother and we started dusting these parts shelves. We started on the bottom and then we had to go to the top. And then when we got to the top, the parts manager came up to us and said, "Well, you got to do the bottom again because you guys dusted all the dust back to the bottom." And we're like, "Oh, great."
I started at $2 an hour, and then I learned that there was minimum wage, and he kept me at $2 an hour.
They always brought me leads.
Anyone from like teachers to friends' parents to basketball coaches. In high school, we'd get a used car off the used lot to drive to school. And if someone came up and said, "I like your car," we always had a stack of business cards in there saying like, "Oh, you like this? You can go CMP or whatever, go do a test drive."
Usually what the policy is if we have referral, there's a $100 check cut.
We never got a referral fee. We should. I should have been keeping track of that.
I've been asked the question before, what's it like to work with my children in business? And it's a blessing for me because I really look forward to working with them. I enjoy going for lunch with them and catching up on different aspects of their life.
I told them, you're a success in the automotive business, but for my wife and I, that's not the highest success we see in you. The highest success we see in you is you raised a good family.
The future is bright. Our grandson's name is Griffin, but it's Griffin Macchio Clarke, and so his initials are GMC. So he's already branded.
We're still so tight-knit, and it doesn't seem to matter where you live, on one side of the city or the other. We're still in each other's lives to a degree that is rare at the age that we're at.
I was just a farm boy, and I came from the farm, and I didn't come with a lot. And today, with having our family involved in the business, that is a real blessing.